you who don't know, I'm an immigrant. I was born and raised in Canada, but was living in New York City on 9/11, and like many people, that day changed the course of my life. And I decided that America was the country I needed to be a part of. Now, if you've lived anywhere other than America, or know someone who does, I can only imagine your worldview has expanded past white, straight, American Christian nationalism. I'm sure meeting people around the world has made you less xenophobic, more accepting of diversity, more open-minded about people who might not look or behave like you. And I'm sure your thoughts on things like banning books or forcing birth belongs to some evil time in history and not modern-day America. And yet, here we are, sitting at a crossroads, not just for this country, but for the entire world. Because there's nowhere on this planet you could possibly go that won't be affected if America shifts from a democratic nation to an authoritarian one. Which is why we can't take anything for granted in this election or miss out on even one potential vote. So I'm talking today to Americans abroad. I want you to understand that in 2020, President Biden won the popular vote by over 7 million ballots. But the election really came down to tiny margins in a number of swing states. Biden won the state of Wisconsin by just over 20,000 votes. He won Georgia by just over 11,000 and Arizona by just 10,000 votes. It works the same in state elections. Ron DeSantis only won the Florida governorship by 32,000 votes. Even local House races, which make a huge difference to how Congress works, sometimes come down to just a couple hundred votes, which is where you come in. Did you know that U.S. citizens can vote from anywhere in the world? Did you know that there are 6.5 million voters abroad in any given election year, but that their rate of voting is just ridiculously low? Only 14% of eligible voters voted in 2020. You heard me talk about those swing state numbers. Some of those elections went one way or the other by the tiniest of numbers. Ron DeSantis only had the power to pass horrible things like the Don't Say Gay bill because of 30,000 people. A House seat can be made or broken by 100 votes. So it is essential that people abroad understand that 6.5 million potential voters is a game-changing number, and they should be feeling that power. Here's the thing. No one's watching voters abroad. No one's counting on them. We could change every single election in this country based on overseas voters and expats alone. But most people who can vote from abroad don't vote because they think they can't or that it's too hard, which is why votefromabroad.org was created. It was created to overcome that confusion and help anyone who wants to vote register and understand each state's requirements because they're all different. But if you do want to vote from abroad, then November is now. A lot of states require a paper ballot to be received by Election Day, not postmarked by Election Day. So voters abroad can't put this off. I know everyone is always saying that every vote matters and every election is the most important, but this has never been more true. We need everyone talking about this. People may no longer live in America, but they have the power to fix America. Voters abroad not only have the numbers, but they have the element of surprise. International Americans should see themselves as democracy's secret weapon. People think they don't care, that they've forgotten where they came from, or they think that what happens stateside won't affect them. But this election will not only decide the course of this nation, but the entire world. America either rehires a literal criminal aligned with the world's worst autocrats who plans to be a dictator and implement the horrifying authoritarian vision of Project 2025, or it breaks the glass ceiling and puts a brilliant woman in charge of returning our rights, protecting our rights and votes, and making sure the law really applies to everyone. So if you live abroad, go to votefromabroad.org. Or if you know someone who does, tell them about it and learn everything you need to know to vote, and then fill out that ballot and send it back. Be the hero no one expected. As Vice Presidential candidate Tim Walz says, we are living at a pivotal moment in world history. How often do you get the chance to save your country? So from America to wherever you are now, thank you. And we cannot wait to hear from you at the ballot box.